Hey everyone, good day to you. Blessed Monday and blessed Martin Luther King Jr. Day. Yesterday was his birthday. Today that we are celebrating MLK and his legacy. I'm trying to post something really thoughtful on my Instagram page and the internet here is down. So hopefully it'll be strong enough to do the Zoom. I'm doing it off of my phone. So hey everyone, welcome. Everyone could take a moment to share where you're tuning in from. I see Doe is here. A couple people have joined. So, and also to let me know if it looks, the internet is strong enough. Again, the internet is down here. I think it might be down in town. And so I'm going off my phone. Good. So, yeah, looks like it's strong enough. Hello. I'm doing good. I am back in Woodstock, New York at the Airbnb I'm staying at, which I love so much. Settling in, working on my book. Hi from Raleigh, North Carolina. Welcome. Glad that you could join us. Good. Yeah, so as we gather people for this live, go ahead and share where you're tuning in from. And this live is part of a series I'm doing called the Anti-Resolution Challenge. It's a 7-day challenge. We're actually in day 6 today. Good morning, Lorena. And even if you have not been part of any of the previous videos, lives, or you haven't watched any of the other videos, please join us. I answer questions and share thoughts about the particular topic of our day. Today's topic is around needs and how to be in relationship with our needs, how to know what our needs are, how to ask for our needs, and how to be honest with ourselves and how to understand the difference between a need and a preference. We're going to talk about all sorts of different things. I need to go plug my phone in, it looks like. So I'll do that in a second. So, yay! I hope you all are having a good day today. And it is sunny and cold where I'm at. I went for a really beautiful walk this morning. It was so good to get out and move my body, especially when it gets cold like this. It's sometimes like, it's 18 degrees. I don't want to go outside. So it's good to bundle up and get my body moving this morning. All right, naming needs. So again, these lives that I'm doing, the last one will be tomorrow, are a series of lives that are part of something called the Anti-Resolution Challenge. And the Anti-Resolution Challenge is a free 7-day event, we can say, where every day you get an email of a little video and a little teaching. We're on day 6 right now. If you haven't joined the Anti-Resolution Challenge, it's still not too late. You can go join it for free at antiresolutionchallenge.com. And as part of joining the challenge, you'll get all of the previous emails, as well as, and which includes the videos, as well as special drawings that we're doing, special prizes, because I love doing shit like that, and also access to a couple of free events that are coming up. I'm doing a 3-hour workshop on January 28th. So you get that as part of being part of the Anti-Resolution Challenge. So go ahead and join. Here's the link for the Instagram and Facebook folks. And oops, let me undo that. Hi, there we go. There's the link. Yay, I love that I can do that. And again, all free, no obligation, super fun. So Anti-Resolution Challenge. And what we're doing in the Anti-Resolution Challenge is we are unpacking the ways that our strategies and our responses cause us suffering, cause us to harm others, how to become more mindful so that we are actually in response to what's happening in our world rather than in reaction. So today is all about exploring what our needs are. And I always think about needs in a couple different ways. One, we all have needs. And there's nothing wrong with having needs. We need each other. We need support. We need guidance. It's really important actually for us to get out of any mindset that we have that says that I shouldn't have needs or I don't have any needs. We all have needs. And in starting to name what our needs are and figure out what our needs are, we're then able to both ask for them more clearly, as well as find ways, creative ways to bring our needs to ourselves. Because having a need doesn't mean that it's always going to get fulfilled. It also doesn't mean that you're dependent on others. It means that you're honest with yourself and that you have the skill, because it is a skill, to ask for what you need, as well as let go when other people can't fill that need, and to be able to be creative in what you do next. So for those of you that are just joining, hey Doe, go ahead and share where you're tuning in from in the chat. There's folks here from my private page, my public page, from our Warrior Goddess Women group, from our Warrior Goddess Training Circle, hey loves, and from YouTube as well. So if I don't connect to a comment that you've shared, if I don't answer a comment or mention your name, sometimes it's because I don't see your name. So not all the comments come through. So hello to those of you that are here live. Good morning, Sue from Alaska. Glad that you could join today. Yay. Doe's from Oregon. Welcome. I'm in upstate New York right now. So, and I was going to be doing on Instagram as well, but I can't go live there because I'm broadcasting off of my phone. So I'll do Instagram later, but hey to those of you that are there. And give me a second. I'm just going to go run and plug my phone in. I don't think I have a plug right here, but I will be right back. And we'll talk about needs. Beautiful. And Toe is originally from the Bay Area. Me too. I had a center in Berkeley for many, many years. So let's define and start exploring the strategies and how these connect to asking for our needs. So one of the things that we've been doing in the Anti-Resolution Challenge over the last 5 or 6 days is talking about these 4 strategies of that are really ways that we keep ourselves safe. That's the best way to talk about it, to give ourselves the illusion of safety, of know how to respond when things are challenging or unsettling, and that often guide almost all of the actions that are taken in our life, including making resolutions, which cannot be helpful. If you're making a resolution from a strategy, then it's not going to take, because you're taking it from a place of expectation or trying to create an outcome. Instead, when we start to understand what our main strategies are and then explore how to self-soothe, which is what we talked about yesterday, and then how to name what our needs are, then everything starts to change. We start to then make resolutions or set intent or take new actions from our actual authentic expression, where we're open-hearted, where we're curious, where we are learning how to support ourselves. And learning what our needs are really helps us to take care of ourselves in a more sustainable way. Also understand what is an expectation versus what is something that we get to learn how to find for ourselves, and to be more present in relationship to our life. Hey there from Castle Rock, Colorado. Hello. The 4 strategies. So some of you, like Doe, and I'm sure some others of you here, have been with me through the entire Anti-Resolution Challenge this year and last year, because we did it in January 2022 as well. So welcome. And for those of you that are brand new, welcome. You don't have to have done anything previous with me or as part of the Anti-Resolution Challenge to get benefit from the lives that we're doing, and to also get benefit from the Anti-Resolution Challenge. Even though we're close to the end of it, even if you join now, you'll still get the previous videos and insights, and you'll have access to those that you can watch them at your own time, your own timing. And You'll also get more insight about yourself and in relationship to others just from listening to this live today. I just want to say I've been so grateful to come back and do lives again. Some of you know I had long COVID last year, and I had to really shut down from being on social media as much as I was and from doing lives. And so I took some space to heal my brain and heal my body. And it's been so fun to come back and do lives again and be able to engage with people. Good morning, Leela. So I love that I got to see you yesterday. Yay. Welcome. So, I love it, Doe. Doe writes, look forward to these sweet little lessons. Thanks so much. Other asked for your time. Yeah. I'm grateful to share them and to give little nuggets every day. Yeah, and I'm grateful as well to be feeling so much better. I realized a couple of days ago I still have to be careful with my brain because it still sometimes gets overwhelmed. Long COVID's a wacko thing, but now I know how to dance with it a little bit better for sure. I know what the needs are. So, okay, strategies first. Exploring the strategies. So, the 4 strategies that I work with, and I came up with these strategies from watching humans, from watching myself, from really studying where are the places that we get stuck in our lives. And one of the things that I saw is that we tend to go into old modes of reaction and response rather than being actually present. So we tend to go back into our stories and back into what I named as these 4 strategies. And there's a lot of other people that have named different types of strategies, different types of responding. They're all beneficial. None of them are like, this is exactly the way it is for everyone. They're guidance to help us to get to know ourselves and be, as I see it, be more intimate with ourselves so we can understand what our needs are and how to be in best relationship with ourselves and the world. Hey, Adriana, glad you could join us. Yay. Those 4 strategies are isolator, distractor, controller, pleaser. So in no order, I keep mixing them up. Isolator is when isolators get scared or confused, they retreat either physically or energetically. Distractors, when they get scared or they're out of their comfort zone, they will change the topic. They will distract by doing video games or making like they'll shift the energy. Controllers, when they feel out of sorts, will try to fix and control things and make things manageable inside of themselves or in the world around them. Pleasers keep themselves feeling a sense of safety and that they know how to be in the world by trying to fix others in a pleasing way. Like, let me do what you need. Let me figure out what you need and do it for you, even though you actually have no idea what they need. A lot of times pleasers are leaning out of themselves constantly to make other people happy. So if you want to learn more about the strategies, join the Anti-Resolution Challenge so you can see those videos. There's also an assessment sheet to help you see where you are in your relationship with these 4 strategies. Of course, we each use some of these different strategies at different times. So it's not that, you're only 100% one strategy. And we tend to have a strategy that we lean into. When we understand that those 4 strategies of pleasing, controlling, isolating, or distracting are methods to keep ourselves safe, it gives us then the understanding to have more compassion for ourselves and others, and to also then get curious about how do I respond in a different way, more from an authentic present place. And part of that is learning what our needs are, both what need the strategy is trying to fill, as well as what is an actual authentic need that I have that's not from the strategy. So the assessment sheet was part of day 1. So if you go back, if you're part of the Anti-Resolution Challenge and you go back to day 1, there's a link that goes to that assessment. There's my little video got fuzzy again. Come on, little computer, you can do it. So sometimes my computer, when I start moving, gets freaked out. There, that worked. Okay, good. So if you don't see it, if you don't see the assessment sheet, it's again day 1 of the Anti-Resolution Challenge, you can email hello@warriorgoddess.com and they can send you the assessment sheet directly. But for those of you that haven't seen the assessment sheet, go back to day 1 of the Warrior Goddess Challenge. The links haven't worked. Okay, I don't have it here. Let me see if I can grab it soon. I'll send it to you. I'll post it here. I think I posted it a couple days ago. And you can also email hello and say, my links aren't working, so they can help you figure it out as well. Also, another thing we've heard is that some of the folks that are part of the anti-resolution challenge aren't getting the emails, or like day 3, suddenly the emails stop. And what's happening is it's going into spam. So check that out. Just go back to your spam folder to see where that might have ended up. And so I'm seeing if I can go grab the link directly for you as well. And that might take me a second. I found it. Okay. So here, and we've checked it and it seems to be working on our end. So if for some reason it doesn't work, let us know. Here you go, Sue. Yay, good. I'm glad, Joe, that you've been getting them. All right, so there's the assessment link. Hope that helps, Sue. Let me know if that works for you. And sometimes what you need to do is go into an incognito window and refresh your page and see if it works from there. Each of the strategies, pleaser, isolator, controller, distractor, have a need to keep you safe, to give you a way to respond to things when you feel confused. And so the need of a pleaser is to make sure everybody else feels happy so that they can feel safe. If everybody's happy, I'm safe. And that feels like this incredible need inside of a pleaser. For controller, the need is to understand, to know, to have clarity around things, to be able to control things. And the need, again, for a controller feels very strong. I have to know, people need to do it in the right way. Often a controller feels like they can control everything if people just behave the correct way. And there's only one way and that will work. And so that feels like, again, incredible need. Isolators' need is to be alone, to have space to figure out what they're feeling, to not feel discomfort, to remove themselves when things feel scary. And again, that need feels very real. And distractors have a need to divert when things start to feel uncomfortable or when they're scared. And the need feels like I have to make sure that we don't keep going down this track, so I need to jump to something else. Now, all of those needs are valid, but following those needs, the needs of our strategy, don't help us evolve and grow. They keep us in an illusion of safety, and they actually cause a tremendous amount of suffering. So if I just followed the needs of that aspect of myself that's a pleaser, my entire life would be spent pleasing everybody else, making everybody else feel safe. Okay, and what ends up happening is resentment. Same thing with, let's say, an isolator. If an isolator only follows that need, that feeling of I have to get myself away from other people or from difficult situations, that need ends up causing suffering because you feel alone. You don't know how to connect with other people. You feel really, really isolated. Okay, so following those needs of our strategies doesn't work in the long term. It does work in the short term. In the short term, what the strategy does is helps us feel more comfortable. It kind of like moderates our discomfort by giving us a way to be in response to it. The problem is that when we just try to fulfill the needs of those strategies, we're not actually living in relationship to what our authentic, core, adult self needs. We're kind of acting from an immature part of us that's just trying to manage versus responding consciously to the world. So we shift from reacting to everything to responding. And we start to then really get to listen for what are actually my needs. What do I actually need in this moment? Not what does my strategy need to feel in control? What do I need to feel mature and responsive to the situation that I find myself in. Okay, so going deeper to listen to what's actually the deeper core need. Okay, let's give some examples to take it out of the theory and bring it into more practical. So let's say that a controller gets really activated, and the surface need is, I just need everybody to do the right thing and do it the way I think you should do it. Okay. Which doesn't work, because humans are messy and they don't just do what you think they should be doing. They do what they do based on their strategies and their experiences. So when we have an experience where, as let's say a controller, we have this, like, I need it to be this way, what we want to do is learn how to sit with our discomfort and go deeper to what's actually the need. I'll share a story. I once took a break, like a 3-day break, where I was living in a trailer next to where the house was that I lived. And I wasn't doing email, wasn't doing phones. Like, I really isolated myself for 3 days. And I thought that, oh, this is going to be such a beautiful thing. I'll get to take some space to myself and learn and get quiet. And my strategy at that time tended to be controlling when I felt out of sorts or when I felt scared. So I went into the house to go to the bathroom or get food or something. And my partner at the time was on the phone with someone in our community who was really upset about something. And so I heard them talking, and I'm in this retreat, so I'm committed to not talking, to not interacting. And I remember going back into the trailer and sitting down, and my mind was just like, oh my God, I need to go call them back right now and take care of this and explain what was happening. And my partner isn't going to take care of it. I have to. And I sat with myself and sat with the discomfort and realized none of that was real. That was my controller having all of these needs of what needed to happen right away. There's this incredible sense of urgency and this incredible sense of this has to happen right now. And what I did is I sat with my own discomfort and sat with the voices without taking any action, and waited and waited. And as I just sat without trying to judge or control or fix, but just being with the emotional content and that sense of urgency and all of these needs that my mind was making up, eventually I opened to, what do I actually need? And what I got is, I actually need to stay in silence. This is a really important retreat for me. Yes, there's something that needs to be addressed, but it's not an emergency. My mind's making an emergency, but it's not an emergency. And this can happen when we go into our strategies, is that the strategy makes it an emergency, makes it incredibly urgent, and makes it like this is a huge need. Slow down. Wait. Let yourself be in the discomfort of the thoughts and the feelings, and wait to listen to what's actually the deeper need there. Not the surface urgency needs to be fixed right now, but what are you actually yearning for in your life? What are you wanting more of in your life? What's beneath the surface that you can give to yourself? And there's things that there's needs that only you can give to yourself. Okay, not all of them. It's not a bad thing at all to have a need and to ask for a need to be met from someone else. And just because you ask for a need to be met doesn't mean the other person can meet it. But you can be clear and present and ask for what a need is, and then open to either somebody else is able to meet your need or they're not. And if they can't meet your need, you don't have to beat them up, punish them, make yourself feel bad, go into shame. You simply then, okay, how do I get this need met? How do I be creative now to get this need met? So this takes practice. I say that almost every time I share something on strategies. It takes time to unwind these, to build our awareness around our strategies, to witness our strategies, to stay with the discomfort, and then to learn what's the deeper need and how to bring that to ourselves, and also how to ask for it. Yeah, Sue, exactly. Sounds like these strategies could also be at a societal level as well as an individual level. That's really true. And, for example, for most of us, especially in the United States, I think this is around the world, but especially in the Western world, this sense of urgency has really been revved more and more, and we've become more and more of a distractor society, where we're constantly distracting ourselves with shopping or with, video games or with social media, scrolling through. And that can be a form of distancing ourselves from ourselves. So as a society, we are more distracted. At a work level, a lot of work is based on, depending on what type of work you're doing, obviously, is based on controlling, especially managerial positions. And we've learned kind of quick ways to manage things that actually don't work in the long run, that are not sustainable in the long run. So it's really true, Sue, that these strategies can be used in a lot of different places and areas. Yeah. So learning, where is it beneficial? Where is it actually not beneficial? How to step out of it. You may be a manager in a business where you do have to manage and control a lot of different things. Can you do that and then walk away and be in a soft, present relationship with yourself, rather than then continuing to control everything? So there's a difference between consciously playing a role that you then step out of, which again, you might be a waitress. Your job is to please others. That's part of the job description, which is fine. And do you then take that into your personal world and try and please everybody as a strategy to stay safe? So there's a difference between a role that we're playing, whether that's a society or as an individual, versus being able to step out of that role, and also understanding the difference between a role and a strategy that's keeping us safe, giving this illusion of keeping us safe. Yeah. So what happens when let me go through a couple of things that I often hear about people in relationship to their needs. One is they have no idea what their needs are. Okay, so a lot of pleasers, or sometimes isolators, sometimes distractors, have no idea what they need, what they actually need. This can be true for controllers as well, but they have no idea what they actually need because they've been so busy putting their attention outside of self. So if you don't know what your needs are, that you start with, I think of it as lesson 1 in my book, Warrior Goddess Training. In Warrior Goddess Training, there's 10 different lessons. The first lesson is commit to you. Take the time to learn what your needs are. Slow down, listen. And that, a simple way to do that is just to ask yourself over and over again, hey, sweetheart, what do you need? Hey, sweetheart, what do you need now? And, that part of you that's asking for a need might be, I just need to feel better about everything. I know you feel scared. Let me stand with you. Let me let you know I'm here. I'm not abandoning you. We'll get through this, and it's going to be uncomfortable. Okay. So not every one of your needs are going to get met. I need for the world to be at peace and there to be no more war. That's nice. It ain't going to happen. So I can bring that to, I need to feel like I'm taking an active role in transforming society. All right, how am I going to do that? So I take responsibility for my needs personally and take action for those needs. And so learning what your needs are, continuing to go deeper. Another thing that I often hear about needs is people that have never shared their needs and then start to get clear about what some of their needs are and then ask for their needs, and the other person says no. And they feel completely devastated because they have this illusion, because it is an illusion. If I'm able to share what my need is, that means other people must just help me with my need. But what it means is you are able to ask for what your need is. Yay! Doesn't mean anybody has the obligation or the capacity to meet your need. And sometimes you get to find, like, this person can't meet it, but who can? So if you have a need, let's say I'll just do something really physical. Let's say you have a need to get something from one place to another. You may get clear of, like, oh, I need somebody to go grocery shopping with me because I've broken my leg. Let's do that. So you ask someone to meet that need and they're like, I can't do that. So then, okay, how can I get this need met? So you may then need to, be more creative in how you get that need met. And getting a no doesn't mean your need isn't valid. It doesn't mean that the universe is against you. It doesn't mean that you don't deserve. It just means it was a no for that person. How else can you get the need met? Mm-hmm. Oh, good, Adriana, I'm glad. Yeah, good. I'm glad. Yeah, and I talk more about all of this in my book, Warrior Goddess Training. So if you want to get more information on it, it's great, especially if you're going through a divorce. Warrior Goddess Training is a really super helpful book, because when I wrote the book, I was also going through a divorce. So I talk about that and how I healed and really learned about needs and strategies and all the things. So yeah. Sakina, hey Sakina, what is the difference? We ask for our needs and we ask about our needs. So if I understand your question, that asking for our needs is going to someone else and saying, I have this need. Can you help me to meet it, get it met? Okay, so, I'll share, and I had a relationship where there was something, I was healing from another relationship, and I realized I just have a need for this other person to be really honest with me. It was somebody that I was dating, really honest with me if you start dating somebody else. I'm like, that's really the only need I have. I'm happy for this relationship to be undefined. We're both healing from ends of relationship, and I have this one need. And I was able to go to them and say, my need is, if you start dating somebody else, you let me know that. That's all. And they were able to look me in the eye and say, I can do that. Great. And when that did happen, they called me up immediately. They're like, okay, I'm interested in somebody else. I wanted you to know. That was huge in helping me heal, because I asked for a need to be met. I was very clear with what the need was. They were able to say yes and to respond to that. Somebody else might have been like, nope, I can't meet that need. Okay, then I would have had a decision to make. Do I want to stay in this relationship with this human or not? Okay. Just because somebody doesn't meet your needs doesn't mean you need to end the relationship, or that, again, your need isn't valid. It means you're now a choice to decide what you do next. And when you ask about your needs, I think for me, that's more talking to a friend to help me get clear about what are my needs here. What's something that's a preference that I wish would happen versus what's something that's actually a need. So that's when we explore with somebody else to help us get clear about what our needs are. Okay. The third misconception I think that happens around needs is the idea of I shouldn't have needs. So there's if I name my needs, somebody, and are able to speak them, other people should just be able to do that need, which isn't true. And the other is, I shouldn't have needs. I don't deserve to have needs. If I share my needs, I'm always going to get rejected. So I'm going to shut the needs down. And that is also not healing or helpful. And so sometimes it can really help, like Sakina said, to then talk with others to get clear about what is my need, what is a valid need that I have, and to give yourself permission and get support to have needs, to know that we're all interdependent with each other. None of us are really independent. We have this ideal that, like, if we're a really strong woman, or if we're a really accomplished human, that somehow we'll suddenly have no needs, which is a complete illusion. we do need each other. We need community, we need support, we need good guides, and there's a lot of ways to get that. So just being part of the Anti-Resolution Challenge is a way to help get more information and guidance about how to be in relationship with self. So there's all sorts of ways to get our needs met, but we have to acknowledge that we have them and that it's okay to have needs, and then find community where we can be supported in learning more and more about ourselves. All right, so those are the three kind of things that I've seen around needs. Any questions? I'm going to start closing. Any questions or thoughts? How do you feel about this idea of needs? What are you up to in your relationship with self? What strategy do you see that your needs don't get met, or you're trying to get them met in a way through a strategy that's not really working for you? So any questions or comments, feel free to share in the chat. I'd love to hear them, and then we'll close our session for today. Tomorrow, we'll be doing our last Anti-Resolution Challenge live. And tonight, I actually have what's called Tea and Talk. So tonight's another deep dive on Zoom. So if you want to do kind of a private session with me tonight with a group of people where we can all see each other, check out the website, learn more about Tea and Talk. All right. Good. So I'm just going to hang around for a little bit to see if you all have questions or shares to put in the chat. Otherwise, yeah, absolutely, Sakina. So true. Otherwise, yeah, sometimes needs can be misunderstood by others. They sure can. Yeah, they really can. Yeah. And then, when my needs are misunderstood by others, or when a communication that I have is misunderstood by others, I go back to, did I communicate clearly? And if I did communicate clearly, like I check that first. And if I did communicate clearly, then I understand it was misunderstood. That's okay. Can I go back and try again? Is it worth it? Do I want to put the energy to educate or to explain myself? Or am I just defending? Yeah, lots of questions we can ask ourselves. Doe, I hope everyone has a beautiful day and a beautiful week. Yay. Yeah, me too. All right, sweet ones. Thanks for joining me for another live. I'm going to do one more tomorrow. Again, there's also Tea and Talk tonight. Doing a lot of public-facing things, and then I will go back to doing inward-facing things as I see it. So for those of you that haven't joined the Anti-Resolution Challenge and are not part of our Warrior Goddess Training Circle, we have an amazing membership circle where we do a lot of getting needs met by learning how to talk about our needs, by being supported, by learning new skills and tools. The Warrior Goddess Training Circle is an incredible community, lots and lots of support where we learn to be unconditional with each other. So as part of the Anti-Resolution Challenge, we invite you into the Warrior Goddess Training Circle for a month for free. And you also get to partake in the Reclaim Your Courage workshop that I'm doing on January 28th. So you'll get access to the live. It's a 3-hour live of really potent, big picture view teachings that's also recorded. So you get that for free as well. So those of you who are in Warrior Goddess Training Circle, the link for Reclaim Your Courage is already in your calendar in the portal. For those of you that are not part of the circle and that this work is resonating with, come join us. It's really an amazing group of humans. Everybody's invited. And all you have to do is join the Anti-Resolution Challenge, and you'll get the month-long free in the Warrior Goddess Training Circle, as well as the Reclaim Your Courage workshop. This is my gift to you for the new year, to help give us extra support and traction as we step into 2023. And there's also a couple wonderful giveaways. So join the Anti-Resolution Challenge. I will see you all tomorrow or tonight. If you want to join Tea and Talk, you can learn more on the website warriorgoddess.com. Go join the Anti-Resolution Challenge, antiresolutionchallenge.com, and join me tomorrow at the same time. Take care. Blessings to each of you. And I will be back live tomorrow at the same time, right here, wherever you're tuning in from. Blessings.